like being married young?
So I got married at 21. I'm now 39. That means I've been married for 18 years. And both my partner and I agree that if we had to do this over again, he was also 21 when we got married, we would not. So that's what it's like being married young. Just knowing you married a dear human being who you weren't necessarily a great fit for, and you're together because you love raising your kids and you've also worked hard to create a lot of life together. It's a lot like life on planet Earth. There's a lot of beauty and a lot of devastation. I'm not sure any of us are getting out of that here on the planet. I will say when I look around, I don't see anyone getting married young that's not trying to run away from some sort of trauma or tied into some religious group. Your brain's not fully formed till you're 25. I would wait till then, at least.
I went on a third date a couple weeks ago, and after the date, I had told my sister, this guy is so sweet, but he's not the one for me, and I feel so bad. And I told her this story, how when he picked me up for the third date, he had this wrapped up bagel. I'm going to put a picture right here. He had this wrapped up bagel because he had told me beforehand that he's from the East Coast and there's this amazing bagel shop and they have the best bagels in the world, and like on and on and on about it. And I was like, oh my God, I got to try this bagel. His mom had sent him a dozen bagels and he froze one for me to save for our next date so I could try one. And just a couple days before that, I was in Vegas for New Year's Eve with my friend, and he asked for my Venmo so he could send me money for a drink. And he sent me this Venmo that said, you're cute, can I buy you a drink? Which is, oh my God, the sweetest thing ever. And then when we're out at this third date, we're sitting at the restaurant and he's sitting across from me. He's like, oh my God, you are so pretty. Like, you are just so beautiful. And I'm like, thank you, he's so sweet. And so I'm telling my sister all of this and she's like, oh my God, that is so rare. Like, this guy is so great. And my response, I was not trying to be bitchy in any kind of way, but I'm like, no, it's not rare. Like, also I'm a dating coach, so I have a different mindset around it, but I'm like, this isn't rare. I'm like, honestly, this stuff happens for me a lot. Like, I only date guys who treat me this well. I only date guys who are that level of sweet or like complimentary towards me or loving or thoughtful. Like, that is not rare for me. But when she said that, it hit me like, oh, this is one of the reasons why women stick with people who aren't the right fit, because they see these behaviors as rare. And maybe right now you're listening, you're like, it is rare. I've never had a guy do that. I've only had one guy do that. Guys aren't like that. Think about your standards. Think about what you allow and what you accept. Because I know when I had different standards is another word for expectations. When I had lower expectations, I got lower effort. Now my standards are up here, and now this is typical shit where I know for other reasons this is not my person, but I am not in a scarcity mindset where I'm like, I have to stick with this guy because no one else is going to be this sweet to me, no one else is going to be this thoughtful, no one else is going to treat me that right. I 100% know that is false, because I only date guys who treat me that well. And it is only as rare as you allow it to be, based on what you are willing to put up with, based on what you are willing to stick around for, and based on who you are available for. And yes, I did end up ending things with this guy. He was super sweet about it, very understanding, very kind, and I hope the best for him.
Tell me your biggest secret.
I'm cheating on my boyfriend with like 5 other guys.
I'm confused how he doesn't know.
Because I have a separate account.
Well, why not just break up with your boyfriend?
Because I love.
Nobody talks about how like life-changing it is to finally be with like a manly man, like a masculine man who takes control of the relationship for the first time in your life, when you're so used to having that role. Like, my masculine energy was always on the top. Like, I got that big masculine energy. I don't know, I just big personality. And now that I'm with my boyfriend, he took me out of my masculine energy and put me in my feminine era for real. Like, I never once in my life have I ever listened to a man. Fuck men. I don't like men. I hate men. But my boyfriend, oh, dude, anything he says, okay. Like, okay. Who am I? Like, yesterday, I wanted a Stanley Cup, and he takes care of our financials, so I was talking to him about it. He was like, I don't know, babe, like, let me think about it. And I was like, okay. The only would have been like, who's the man to tell me what to do? But I don't know, I like.
Damn, don't nobody want me? Nobody. Me, I want you. I want you. So you telling me nobody really want me?
Words can't express how completely unsafe I feel at this gym now. The way she stops and stares, I felt uncomfortable and unsafe. I know my shorts are extra short, but doesn't give a reason to stare. We need to bring awareness to this.
Are you guys really finding the one, or are we just picking one and going with it?
Listen, I was single for the last 4 years. I went on over 150 first dates. I was so sad about being single that I did my dissertation on romantic love and technology. So I've read a lot of the research here, and there's some really interesting insights. Long story short, people are picking, and they're happier for picking than for thinking that there's a perfect match out there. So 50% of singles in the Match.com study of 2022 found that they fell in love with someone who they initially weren't attracted to. Half of people. And 2, studies suggest that even believing in a soulmate or a perfect match sets you up for unhealthy relationship patterns. People who have a perfect match definition of love tend to experience overreactions to conflict and lower relationship satisfaction, versus people who define love or view a soulmate as a fellow traveler in a journey tend to have much more adaptive perspectives. So don't settle when it comes to values or someone treating you poorly, or God forbid you don't even like spending time with them. But be open-minded and give people a chance.
The strongest man in the entire world turns weak as a lamb when they catch their girl at the hotel. Welcome back to Rice's Rules.